Good Wednesday morning, everybody. Forecaster Josiah Acheampong here with your weather update. Starting out right now with a look out in Follett. Not too long ago, we actually had a different view. It looks like they recently changed it, but now looking out east, where we are looking toward the sunrise. We are seeing clouds filter in across the area, and it looks like they're also raising the flag. So start there at the school in Follett, taking another look at our sky cam out in Bushland, looking east, looking at the sun peeking through those filtering clouds, those high clouds, as we await later storm development this afternoon. So right now, Amarillo currently sitting at 62 degrees, winds coming out of the south southwest at 11 miles an hour, and our dew point sitting at 56. Now, taking a look at our temperatures across the board, 67 out in Pampa and Borger, 55 in Clayton, and 58 in Dimmitt. So a cool start and seasonable one across the board for many as we start the day. Now, as we plan out the next couple of hours, it's going to be fairly calm. Temperatures are going to rise into the upper 70s by later this afternoon, but it's what comes after that we need to stay on the watch for. Taking a look this afternoon, we do have a risk for severe storms. So let's break this down. We do have a slight risk that's centered over our northwestern areas. So that includes Union, Cimarron, as well as portions of the northwestern panhandle. That's going to be the slight risk, level 2 out of 5. Then we also have a marginal risk that's blanketed for a wide swath of the area, mainly along I-40 and areas north, but that also does include portions of eastern New Mexico as well. The threats are going to include ping pong sized hail, winds up to 60 miles an hour, and flooding can't be entirely ruled out, mainly localized, depending on where the heaviest batches of rain line up. Now, taking a look at the timing of when those severe storm threats will occur, this is going to help break it down. So we have this middle area of gray here. That's going to indicate around the 2 to 7 o'clock time frame that this area could see severe storm development across the area. Areas north of that in this lighter shade of gray, that's going to be in the 5 to 10 p.m. time frame that we could see storms develop. Now you might be saying, okay, how are storms developing in this area versus this area? Well, we'll have a popcorn kind of threat of thunderstorms develop out ahead of the cold front. That'll be in this general region in the middle gray. Now, in the lighter shade of gray, that's mainly due to some energy and storms uh, coming off the mountain range there, making their way in a southeasterly direction. And then that's when this northwestern area will cash in on some severe storms. But let's see what that actually looks like as we time this all out. Later this afternoon, around 3, 4 o'clock, that's when we can see the initial popcorn thunderstorms develop in that lighter shade of gray that I indicated before. As we head around dinner time, it becomes a bit more populous and more widespread. And even that northwest area we indicated before, again, kind of taps into the storm development. It becomes a bit more widespread. Right now, the model favoring areas south and east, stretching from Tulia all the way up into Canadian Lipscomb County up there. They can cash in on the rain. And then it continues through the overnight hours into early morning tomorrow. We can still be talking about rain in areas before we try and dry out and clear out. But it doesn't last for too long. Clouds will try and thin throughout the afternoon, but we could still see some isolated storm and scattered storm development, especially favoring some of our south and western areas, depending on where that front in the trough stall out later tomorrow, yes, Thursday. Heading into Friday, we'll try and clear out. We'll have some clouds still sticking around, and we'll be slightly cooler than what we have been dealing with. In terms of rainfall, the model's saying anywhere between a quarter up to an inch and a half of rain in select areas. Wouldn't be surprised if some areas come in a little bit hotter than that. Now, in terms of our flood concern, it's going to be a lower threat, but can't be entirely ruled out for some, again, isolated flooding concerns. Now, taking a look at our forecast for the next 2 days, today we have temperatures seasonable in the mid 80s across the board. Isolated storms can't be ruled out later this afternoon. Tonight, we'll be sticking around with chances of showers and storms, temperatures dipping into the 60s before tomorrow. We remain cool as we deal with cloud cover and periods and rounds of rain throughout the day. Now, taking a look at our next weather maker, what's going to happen is we'll have that front make its way through the area, clear the area by Friday. Now, as we take a look, we'll have this area in the southwest begin to build a ridge of high pressure. That can give us a temporary northwest flow aloft. So we'll have isolated chances and off and on chances for some storm development. Now, as we head into early next week, looks like there's a big dive in the jet stream as a piece of energy upper level disturbance makes its way into the southern plains, and it looks like it wants to settle in portions of East Texas. Now, the question is, how much influence do we actually get out of that as that cutoff low breaks apart and moves further south? How much rain do we actually catch in on that? We'll actually take a look at that. But what you will notice that there's this blue pool. This is another area of low pressure sitting up near the Great Lakes in the upper Midwest that'll be making its way through the area. But in the process, we may have a cooler stretch of weather early to mid next week. But taking a look at our temperature outlook over the 6 to 10 day outlook, it looks like we'll have a 60% chance of above normal temperatures as we head over the next 6 to 10 days. Taking a look at our 7 day tracker, we'll have isolated storms later this afternoon before they become more scattered in nature later this evening as that cold front approaches. Cooling temperatures in the 70s tomorrow as we cool down, and the evenings will be even cooler. We deal with some cloud cover throughout the day. We try and get rid of the storm chances on Friday, but I can't rule out some isolated storms, especially in the early morning hours. Heading into the weekend, looks like we will possibly retain some storm chance, especially with that northwest flow aloft. And then fall starts on Monday. We're a couple days away, 5 days from the official start of fall. So a lot to look forward to. Hope you all take care, remain weather aware, and stay up to date with everything.